Hello. Oh, and a 5 kilowatt rack. This is our legendary Fogstar Energy 48 volt 5.12 kilowatt hour rack battery. Powered by EVE cells capable of 5,000 cycles at 80% depth of discharge and a 100 amp pace BMS. This is our version 3 model with updated firmware giving you up to 95% depth of discharge. It has our latest user interface giving you more information at the touch of the screen. We've also increased dip switches up to 6, giving you scalability of up to 32 units in parallel or 31 with Victron. The rack batteries feature automatic integrated cell heating, meaning that you can charge your batteries even in the coldest of temperatures. And of course, backed by our legendary Fogstar warranty of 10 years.
Let's show you how to install, set up and configure your rack batteries. For this example, I'm using the outdoor 8-rack cabinet, but the principles are exactly the same for all installations.
To secure your rack battery into the cabinet, insert the captive nut from the rear, using the spring tabs to hold it in place. We always recommend using 2 people when handling rack batteries. And secure with the screws provided. Oh wow, this looks great. What's the next step? Next step is wiring and connections. Cup of tea would be lovely, by the way. To start wiring your rack batteries, making sure the breaker is switched off. Remove the covers by lifting. Undo the 2 M6 bolts. Attach the lead and tighten to 6 Newton meters. Reattach the caps by putting them on at an angle and snapping into place. Attach the cable to the buzz bar with the M8 bolts provided and torque to 11 Newton meters, making sure the terminal stays still. On the positive top connection of the buzz bar, you will need to connect your master battery and your inverter cable. Torque to 11 Newton meters. On the last battery, make sure you're connecting your negative inverter cable as well as your negative battery cable. Torque to 11 Newton meters. Each battery has its own earth screw. You will need to make an earth cable up from each battery in turn down to the earthing block at the bottom of the cabinet. This will then be connected to your inverter earth or consumer unit earth, depending on which is nearer. If you have multiple batteries in parallel, this is the point you put in your link cables. So these communication cables go from A to B. Remove the dust covers. A port sends the communication and B port receives it. So A port to B port. On the master battery, you will need to connect your communication cable. This will be the RS485 or the CAN port, depending on the specification of your inverter. Just to confirm, when you have your cabinet set up, we have the inverter positive cable on the top of this buzz bar and the inverter negative cable on the bottom of this buzz bar here. The last battery in the chain will have no communication cable in the battery link A port, and the master battery will have no communication cable in the battery link B port. To configure the first battery as the master, it's dip switch 1 up, which is on, all the rest down. Battery 2 is switch number 2 up, the rest down. See the table for the battery configuration number. With the breaker off, you are now ready to power on your battery. On the boot up screen, you will get the options of our classic user interface if you're pairing a new battery with an older version, or our new advanced user interface. When it comes to setting your inverter protocols, click the settings cog in the top right corner, change protocol, select between CAN or RS485 depending on your inverter. Then you have our most popular preloaded protocols, select the one that you need and then exit with back to menu. Once you're happy with all of your connections, you can turn on your breakers. Now, one of the questions we get asked all the time is, I already own some of your rack batteries. Can I add new rack batteries to my existing ones? And if so, in what format should they be? And the answer is yes. We always recommend putting your new batteries as the master, slave 1, 2, 3, depending on how many you've bought. And then with our new user interface, you can actually change back to the classic to match your existing ones. Don't forget that if you do integrate new batteries with your existing ones, you will have to change the dip switches and the cable layouts to make sure that everything is correct. So there you go, adaptable, powerful storage from Fogstar. I guess I better find somewhere else to spend the night.